And yeah, they definitely are, you have to kill them open to get kill them all to get the door open type thing. And I'm not falling for any of this again. We're gonna grab some extra ammo for no reason. Just so that I don't need it. Alrighty. We're gonna run back. Alright. Alright, in theory he's the last one I need to kill, so I should be all set. Yep, and as you can see, the door opened, and now we're just gonna have jump scares, so have fun with that, guys. But you gotta appreciate, look at his legs. Look at this guy's legs. So, all over the place. Alright. That's the end of that level. Let's pretend I got it first try. Okay. Oh, so this is so since we were fighting spiders, we're going to fight more spiders. We're gonna fight the spider boss. But I'm gonna tell you a secret, we just need the key. We don't need anything else. We need to open the door, so we're just gonna come over here and open the door. Boink. And as you can see, there are barrels everywhere. Whoops. Everywhere. We're gonna take one with us as a souvenir of this level. And we're gonna watch the level deload. That was amazing. So this is a big, giant spider boss level, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm scared. So we're gonna take our barrel and we're just gonna get on up here, and we'll probably be safe. I don't even remember how this fight goes. Let's just not worry about it. Oh look, there's the woman that we heard crying for help. That woman is dead. Never mind. We're not getting a second wife today. Alright, so now that Walden is off, done with his I'm finding a woman mission, we're gonna go back to the killing a werewolf thing. And apparently, I don't know why, the weird plot point, the werewolf is hiding in a crypt in the cemetery. And of course, where am I going? Naturally, the cemetery he picks has a crypt that has a key that's broken into pieces. But it's okay. The pieces are in the cemetery. It's fine. Whoops. Oh, this place is haunted. Jeez, I wonder where we would have gotten that idea from. So the thing about this level is go to where you need to go and don't look back. Don't look back. Can I have that? Thanks. There are skeletons and spiders following me. You're more than welcome to shoot them all. But you really don't need to. That's not it. It's this one. Okay. Also, please try to remember where your keys are located, because they're gonna come and get you and it's gonna be bad. Okay, let's run away now. Remember to run diagonally because you run faster that way. And remember, we're not here to fight anyone except the werewolf. Oh my god. This game with its frames is crazy. Anyways, we just need one more piece of the magic puzzle. So we're just going to make our way over to the gate and hope that nobody catch up with us. let me in, please let me in, please let me in. Oh, please let me in, please let me in. There we go. What time are we at? Okay. I've been informed that I should probably show you the final level. So, we're in the crypt. Now, I have a sticky note on my computer for this, and I didn't bring it with me, so we're going to go off the top of my head. You don't need all of these bullets, but why not? So when we go in there, we're going to have a lot of things happening. You're going to shoot the werewolf twice, and then you're going to have 5 skeletons appear. Then you're going to shoot the werewolf 3 times, then you're going to have... what is it? I don't know. More skeletons appear. It might be 2 and then 5. I think. And then after you do that, we're going to have meatballs appear. 3 meatballs, then spiders drop, then another meatball. Then we're going to start kiting around because there's going to be skeletons too. We got to kite the skeletons and the spiders around. And then a 4th meatball will pop after the spiders pop. I think I mentioned that. But there are 5 meatballs while you're kiting everything around the room. And then you have to kill everything off. Because our gun has amazing reload times, we're only going to be able to get like 1 shot off in between meatballs. So I'm going to give it 1 go, and we'll see how this goes. And I apologize in advance if I scream because this is a spoopy game. Also, you got to love the filters. Just shoot him right away and immediately spam R. Just watch that reload. It's terrible. Okay. And then shoot him, and then we have 2 skeletons, so it's probably 5 on the second rotation. Please, please, please be careful that skeletons don't swim. And also be careful, they can get stuck on your hitbox too, but it's less scary. So you want to be in position. Wow, I'm not taking breath. You want to be in position for when the wolf comes. So you definitely want to kill him on the opposite side of the room, so that he gets to you a little fast. Also, I don't know about you, but what werewolf is faster on 2 legs than 1? I have no clue. Down, boy, down. And we're going to shoot him 1 more time. And now we have skeletons to attack. Oh, yeah. So because there's skeletons on the floor, apparently the other skeletons can get stuck on them and do crazy things, and I'm very alarmed right now. So we're just gonna... Oh, God. Please, go away. Leave me alone. I'm too young for this. Alright, so we have 2 more skeletons, which means I'm gonna kite this one all the way around, so that I'm in position for when the meatballs start coming. Because what horror game is a horror game if you don't got meatballs in it? Am I right? Oh, crap. Alright, here we go. Get ready for it, guys. Ready? 1. We gotta count to 3. I made the mistake of not doing that one time. It was bad. I died. 2. 1 more. Don't let me move until we get 1 more meatball. Last one. Spiders are dropping. There they are. And there should be another meatball right there. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 1 loop around. We have spiders. I missed that, that's fine. We have time to get 1 more shot off, maybe? Okay. It's getting a little crazy in here. So now the meatballs are gonna start forming, and there's 5 of them. And you can tell they're coming by the red light right here. Oh, I'm good. And then everything goes slow-mo and bright and terrible, and I'm ready to die. Also, meatballs are bad because they can rocket speed. Oh, God. I didn't kill the meatball. I killed the skeleton. Skeleton body blocked. Oh god, the other meatball's spawning already. Jesus. Okay, that was bad. The meatball is literally right there. Okay, I've kited this stuff around before, man. It gets mad crazy. Alright. 2 meatballs. I got 1. Come on, Walden. Nope, I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm not dead. What is this? Walden, please reload. Oh good, 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 good. Except, of course, I'm right by where the meatball spawned. This is terrible. Terrible, 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 terrible. Shoot it, shoot it, shoot it. Walden, oh my god. What is it? Oh, I'm dead. Okay. I'm done. It doesn't go quite the way it's supposed to. It's fine. But yeah, you're just gonna kite around and keep constantly doing that until your heart dries. And then at the end, when you finally kill everything, you get a plot twist where they're just like, yep, apparently there's this scroll in the crypt and the werewolf is looking for it, but the wizard was looking for it, and this wizard just kills you, and then you just like die in this hurricane of like meatballs and stuff. I don't know, it's very strange. And there actually are people that want a sequel to this game, and they were really crazy because none of this makes sense. But yeah, so that was a really quick kind of tutorial. It didn't go quite as planned, but hopefully you guys enjoyed how terrible it was, and a little bit of I'm like basically shaking on the inside. And we'll just wrap this up with some really nice Metroid that isn't scary and making me jump. Take it away, Stump.
Alright. Hello everyone. My name's Stump, and now it's time to do the final run of this, and that's going to be Super Metroid 100%. So, let's get started with this, shall we? So this is the beginning of the game. The Sirius station's under attack, so time to see what's going on. While I'm moving through the rooms, I'm going to be repeatedly aiming up and down to move myself forward an extra pixel each time. And that adds up over the run. And here we see Ridley. To get past this fight, I gotta either hit Ridley 100 times or get damage below 30 health. So I'm gonna take 5 hits from Ridley's tail to advance the plot. And it's time to get out. .43, not too bad. But we got 100 items to collect and a bunch of bosses to defeat. So let's head deep into the planet and do that. Now there I arm pumped on downhill, and that can sometimes cause you to fall off the hill. And you often don't want that. Then I avoid these platforms. And we can get our first couple items. Ah, I fell in. So this will take us to Blueprint Star. I hope you enjoy that item fanfare because there are going to be 99 more of them. Now that we have these, we're going to see that the planet has woken up after we go back up the elevator. And since I have the Morph Ball now, I can do what I did exiting that room, which is called a Mach Ball. That is morphing right as you are about to reach the ground, and that preserves your running speed through the movement and morph form. And there are a few approaches to getting up to the top of this room. The one I'm going to use is wall jumping up the right side. by chasing that last shot up the right wall, I was able to get it to hit that last space pirate without getting far enough off screen to despawn. Oh, that's not a good hit to take because now Bomb Chorizo's drops might be health rather than missiles, and I really need missile drops because that is the fastest way to do this fight. So Bomb Chorizo has 8 missiles worth of health, and 5 shots are equivalent to 1 missile. But I had to use all of them to get up to get into the room. So I got to refill, but I only got 1 pack. But now we're good. I made sure that I fired my shots in sets of 5 because going directly from that last missile worth of health down to 0 skips a change of form for Bomb Chorizo, which would result in about half a second where he can't be damaged. Oh, one of those missiles was a little bit early. I was trying to open the door and kill that one waver. But that's only a little bit of time. And I'll get those missiles back from a drop as I enter Green Brinstar here. And then we'll do our first major sequence break, and that is getting super missiles without defeating Spore Spawn. By doing a mock ball there, I got under those gates. And we now have super missiles earlier than we should. And since this is 100%, we got some items to get over here. Now, if I can position my jump out of here just right, it's actually possible for me to get a mock ball in the reverse direction here. I didn't have a jump before I hit the transition blocks, though. But that is much harder to do than the forwards one. But now that we got that room cleared out, we can move on to Pink Brinstar. Doing another mock ball through this room to preserve speed. And start to get some more major items. I did 2 things there. One was down backing through that one gap. That gives me a specific movement angle that helps me fit through that gap. And then a damage boost that resulted in another specific angle of movement that got me directly through the rest of that room. And with not going through that room, I was able to keep want to make sure I have plenty of supers here. Oh, now I wasted that one I got, but I'll be fine. But I don't go back to normal morph speed until I have bounced once and then land again. So I was able to keep that speed a little further by having that bounce put me down one of the steps. And here's going to be our next beam upgrade. Now this adds some damage and makes the beam wider. But now that we've got that, it's time to defeat the first major boss, and that would be Kraid. First we gotta get into his lair though. Wall jumping is a wonderful thing. That allowed me to get into there without the high jump boots. Now, by jumping with a charge shot like this, I didn't jump far enough to the right, but that was the pseudo screw attack, where that does a set amount of damage to an enemy you do that to, and it consumes the charge, but it's a useful thing. And time for the fight. Let's hope that I can get the quick kill. Oh, I had it. Missed the last super missile though. Kraid was one missile away from death. I think that my last press of the shot button didn't register. But that gets me the Varia suit, so we can explore hot rooms now. Now the way that the quick kill worked was after firing that initial missile to make him open his mouth, I hit him again on the second animation frame of the mouth opening. And doing that locks it in place for enough time to put enough super missiles in to kill him. That'll do it for Kraid's Lair, and we can go to the next area, North Fair. Hopefully I can get... Oh, jumped too late. I was trying to jump and mock ball through that gap. I have another chance to do that later in the run. Hopefully I'll get it then, so you can see what that looks like, because it looks cool. Before we do much more exploring, we need to be able to jump higher, so we gotta clean this area out. I was trying to fire that rightward shot while I was moving back to the right in that little bit of room that was in that gap. That would cause the shot to move slightly higher, and that would be high enough to hit the door. But the reason I had to pre-open that door is because the doors are gated by killing all of the enemies in the room. in certain rooms. And once you've done that and opened the door, you no longer need to do that on subsequent visits to the room. Yeah, time to go through the heated area. It's very easy to accidentally forget this missile. And we go through the bottom here and deal with the hits. It's faster than jumping across the top. And we have the health to spare for it. Alright, no issues caused by the CAC attack. So let's go get Speed Booster. These downslopes are at an angle where the falling off of them from arm pumping doesn't really apply. So that's why I was still able to arm pump down them. And right away we put the Speed Booster into action. And our next target is going to be upgrading our beam. Now I aim down over that gap because that makes Samus's hitbox a little bit shorter. And that's enough for her speed to get her across the gap before falling enough to hit the right side of it. So it avoids the need for jumping. Now our beam goes through walls and does more damage. I really like sniping that one in the air with the diagonal missile. And now that we have those items, we'll go deal with the next mini boss. And Wave Beam going through walls allows opening that blue gate from the wrong side. And with that, we reach Crocomire. I'm going to use charge shots. Each one of those causes them to back up 2 steps. Ideally, I don't get that many of those fireball cycles where he stomps. But pushed him onto the weak bridge. Stand back a little to reduce lag. Now I'm going to fire a shot flush against that wall. That actually wraps around back to the left side of the room and opens up the door. And you'll see very soon the reason why we do that. before that, we gotta do phase 2 of the Krachmeyer fight. Oh, I left that off too high, but that was why I pre-opened the door. I would have gone straight across here to get our first pack of power bombs. Oh, I almost made that down without hitting anything. But we got 2 items to get here. A smaller one. And a larger one. Oh, I barely made that. There are certain rooms that will use that in. That's such a wonderful knockball. It really shows the speed preserving property of it. Yeah, here, let's see if I can get this. Nice. So I damage boosted across to this missile with a spark charge that I'm going to use to get back. And I'm going to farm up a little health and ammo just in case of any trouble with the next fight. Because we got the wreck ship and Phantoon coming up. A tough area and an annoying boss. I wonder if that shot's going to hit the door before the shot despawns. And that concludes our first trip to Norfair. We got other places to explore, more items to get. Now, I didn't hold down the run button during my entire run up there. Oh, I missed the spot to, where I should have pressed it though. I was attempting to charge a spark in shorter distance. Because for whether you get echoes, the game actually counts how often a certain frame of the animation happens while you're holding the run button down. So if you don't hold it during those other frames, you get the charge in the same amount of time but less distance. But now we're up Red Tower. That was not a damage boost that I was expecting to get. Ah! Vile Plume used Bite, and it was super effective. Now this is the intended first pack of power bombs. And a lot of items have missiles hidden either behind or near them, like that one. In one case, that's even true of a missile pack. Well, at least I got all three of them hopping towards me, so that that power bomb would kill all of them. Because this is one of those rooms where the door does not unlock until you have defeated everything in it. But we've got a boss to defeat and another suit to get. So we gotta make our way up and over. Since I have grapple, I'll just use that. And we cross the ocean. And we're in. Now, even before, to unlock most parts of the ship, you need to defeat Fantoon first, but this one, you don't have to. And it works out better because with the ship not powered up, those spike platforms aren't falling, and the spikes don't do damage, because for some reason they need power to do that. Here we go. Now, for each of these cycles of floating around, there are 3 speeds that he can move. And I got the slowest one. But I got 3 charge shots into him. Oh, missed that one. That was a medium speed phase. And there's our next 3 shots. And one more, and that super missile should do the trick. I hit the flames though. Well, I missed the super missile. I've got reserve tanks. Yeah, that took a couple more rounds than it needed to, but getting through with the reserve tank is good. It means that I'm more likely to be able to not stop at the ship before doing Gauntlet Spark. But now that the power is back on, we've got a lot of items to get. Starting with more super missiles, which is a nice thing to have more of. Yep, jumped a little too high. I was trying to do a small one to get across to these supers without hitting that spark on the ceiling. Yeah, we got an E-tank to get, but that's going to involve crossing through spiky death room. With this suit, taking a hit from the falling spikes is a full tank of damage, which is a lot, but we're through. Saved. Since we got a refill from that E-tank, the reverse spiky death room is not as dangerous. Now the preservation of speed through one bounce in morph form still applies when you're underwater. And I was able to go through that ceiling due to being in a crouched position and not flush against it. Yeah, I'll have to kill everything without without using a spark. But that saves health and makes it more likely that the ship refill will be skippable. Yeah, these robots, if I get iframes and spin jump into them, it's possible to clip right through them. And the other way, when you're on a conveyor belt and the other that opposes their movement, you can get iframes and stand facing away from the robot, and you go right through. I do not appear to have pre-opened the door when I did my first pass through this. Was that everything? No, it was not. There we go. And while we're outside, we still got a few more missiles to get. Might have been good to farm a little bit more health there. Alright, if I timed my presses of the run button right, which unfortunately I did not, I would have been able to spark across here. I grappled across to preserve some health to hopefully not have to stop at the ship. But it looks like I may still have to. This is one of those places in the game where you just let something happen. It's good to have a break like that from time to time. With this being 100%, I have more missiles than I know what to do with. So since you can spam them faster than any other weapon, they work well at pushing the robots into pits. But with those items, we can get the gravity suit and be finished with this area. So now I take even less damage from the various sources. And water physics are nothing anymore. What I did there was, oh, this isn't any percent. I buffered a shot through the door, let it go, jumped over where the mote missile was, and mockballed to keep my speed. Alright, that was a wraparound shot to set up for this spark. Oh. Well, I reached 29 before my pause finished. So my spark ended. I was gonna use the reserves. This means I get to short charge along here. If I can get it. I've never had this much trouble getting that short charge. That said, it's one that I infrequently have to do. There we go. Never mind. Actually, with that, I probably should have left this until the end of the game, when I would have space jump and screw attack. This part's no different. Oh, that was too far right. Yeah, ceiling spikes for damage boosts are wonderful things. I made sure I went down the middle of those two columns of grapple block. Oh, not grapple blocks, crumble blocks. The reason for that is that if I didn't, then I'd have to go through all the way through the gauntlet area again to go down the other side and get the other missile. On our way into Meridia, we'll make another pass through Brinstar here to get items that we couldn't get the first time. Mainly because we didn't have power bombs. But in one case, because we didn't have speed booster. There is an invisible gap in the blocks on the floor there. That's a reference to the original Metroid. And I'm about to go back down it. Because there are items down here. I want to jump and mock ball out of here. The reason is that the extra speed from doing that gets me across the vertical passage there. With ordinary morph ball speed, I would fall in. Yeah, I'm going to do a couple things at the same time, ideally here, except that I did not get the spark charge. I was trying to bring a charge down there and spark up left after laying that power bomb. That opens this room and a yellow door that's off to the right. Alright, Alright, I got the quick drop. Now, I can turn around and jump up here and hopefully wall jump back up this passage before the crumble block respawns, which I did. That is known as the Mission Impossible strat. And it provides a more efficient path through the various side doors of the big pink room. because of that, I do have to get the Spore Spawn supers before I continue. What I did there was I positioned the camera in a spot where firing a super missile would cause it to hit the super missile block that normally blocks the exit from the Spore Spawn passage. That positioning causes the super missile to hit the block before it's far enough off screen to despawn. Now we get this missile that we left behind the first time. And that's because here we can get it while we're waiting for our power bomb to explode. And this will do it for items in the big pink room. Now we can move on to the path forward to Meridia. Now, it may seem like that power bomb doesn't really accomplish much of anything, but there's a yellow door at the top right of the room, and opening it there keeps me from having to wait for a power bomb to explode when I am coming back up this room and towards that door at the end of the run. I was trying to fire that shot and jump to get through the door. That didn't quite work out though. Now Meridia begins. This actually has some of my favorite movement in the run. At first we got a missile to get that requires a Shine Spark. I don't think I made it onto the jump button in time. Nope. Normally you would cause the turtle to lift you up here, but that's too slow. Sometimes if you have just the wrong timing on those shots, that missile isn't opened by the time you pass it. One of the nice things about sparking is not having to deal with, this is 100%, is not having to deal with with grappling across the top of that room. I like that zigzagging jump. Oh, I almost was straight down through that gap there. A little bit misaligned though. Alright, I turned off Spazer there for a reason. I can barely hear the music to time this though. So what I tried to do there was a special beam combo. That's done by holding a charge for 1 second when you have no other beam selected than charge and a specific one, and you have power bomb selected on the top. A special attack happens that's specific to the extra beam that you have selected. Finally, let's see if I can get this charge up to this door. And there's about half that room skipped. I was not expecting a high damage boost there. But we're right about at the third major boss of the game. And that would be Dragon. There are many things that make this fight unique. One is that Dragon takes damage from Shine Sparking through. The other is the grapple combo with the turrets. So what I did there is I got a spark charge. I hit one of the particles of goo, causing Dragon to grab me. And then I used the spark before Dragon actually did grab me. And by interrupting the spark like that, I got a persistent state of having speed echoes, called Blue Suit. This pretty much gives me a free spark to use a little bit later. I'm going to use it to get back across the long room. after we collect the main prize for this fight. But the thing about a blue suit is that you cannot move with the run button held while you have it. So that's why my side-to-side movement is a little bit slow until I use this. But that gets me back across the room. Now we got a few more passages of the area to finish. I did not get speed uppers there. We're there. I did not intend to go in that door. But this should get me where I want to go. What? That's better. Now, by being in a turnaround as I landed on that sand, I got a quick fall through it. Because some animations, like turning around, are uninterruptible. Yeah, I'll get that on my second pass through there. But there are two sand pits here. Both have items in them. Both are one way, so I gotta make a large loop to clean out both of them. Yep, a little late on the quick drop there. But by facing left, I can try and damage boost off that particle like that. Get the rest of the way across this room more quickly. And visit our friend Shacktool. One of those other moments where there's no way to speed it up and you just have to let what will happen happen. There is a highly versatile item here. It gets used all throughout the remaining part of the run, but it's only really small things that it helps with, but it still is a very convenient thing to have. Like there. I wasted some supers. But I had extra ones because I did have to take the refill. But behind this is one of the most powerful collectible beams in the game. plasma. This greatly increases damage and causes the beam to go straight through enemies. And to get back to the top of the sand pits so that I can go down the other one, I'm going to go through Cacatac Alley here. This only opens after you've beaten Dragon. Yep. Trying to damage boost there. It's a nice place to get some extra super missiles too. I'll grab the Z-Tank since this is my last time passing through this area. And get that quick drop through the sand. Now, repeated morphing and unmorphing in these sandfall rooms gets you through them a little bit faster because each one of those pushes you down a little bit. Alright, got that. Did not get that though. That was the snail getting in the way. I never had that snail get in the way before. But now that we have that, we have one more sand pit to go through. And then we are finished with Meridia. And we do this one second because Spring Ball is really helpful in it. Another nice thing about Spring Ball is that if you hold jump as you're landing on crumble blocks, you will every time bounce off of them before you would fall through. Especially in Lower Norfair, there are a couple places where we take advantage of that property for maximum safety. But there is one thing we gotta do before going back down into Norfair to beat Ridley, and that is get a missile that we could not get here due to not having power bombs.
It's his own equipment, actually. Huh? It's his own equipment, actually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Alright, now we got that missile. And we can get our second chance at Mouthball. There it is. we got one more beam upgrade to get. Oh, I forgot to not hold jump there. That's all of the any percent I've done lately due to the tournament that was going on. But now we can freeze things. I'll have to space jump across to that instead. I like to spark across to it because that allows buffering the shot that opens it. If I can time my jumps right here, which I did not do there, I could have kept that speed through this room. But I have kept speed through this room. Get across it a little bit faster. Now, with that specific angle, the damage boosting puts you at, I can end up in a very good spot in this lava pit. And that brings us to Lower Norfair, and one of the best pieces of music in the game. We got some items to get first, though. Now this room has the last mini-boss in it, Golden Chorizo, but it also has these crumble blocks. So I'm going to take advantage of Spring Ball to safely bounce across them. Now, with Plasma, this is a oh. I hadn't opened that. There's that spot on top of his front foot that you can stand on, where you're too far right to get hit by his attacks, but too far left to get hit by his body. So you can fire shots upwards until he's dead. Now I should get a charge here that I can use to get through these pillars. Now on that lower row, everything except that left block is a crumble block. So it's important not to hit those. Otherwise you have to go all the way back around. Now by doing small jumps here, I can avoid falling all the way down. That's because you can only space jump a certain amount of time after the peak of your jump. So I had to keep the small ones going there. By morphing right as I'm touching that, landing on it, I end up going right through it. Let's time that. Alright, gotta keep through there. And one room separates us from Ridley. Yeah, with this beam combo, I only need to land 20 shots. And hopefully those will not be too difficult to hit him with. By breaking out of spin like that, I manipulated Ridley into turning around and doing that bouncing attack from right to left, where there's a safe spot on the left side of the platform. Yep. Oh, Ridley's not dead. Now we should be, though. Or not. There we go. And for that, we get an E-tank and an empty, broken Metroid tank. Now there I was firing through those metal pirates as I was going through them. While there's a shot in contact, they aren't considered to collide with you. Yep, didn't get speed echoes. So that allows you to go through enemies without being hit by them. This is especially useful with plasma beam, like I did there and there, because with the property of cutting through, the shot stays in contact for a lot longer. There's something I have to do down here. Don't want to forget an E-tank of all things. Now I aimed, oh, well, I didn't get the damage boost, but I aimed down there so that I would not be screw attacking, so that I would actually get hit by that fire flea. Because I was intending to damage boost off of it. And that missile is the last item in Lower Norfair. Now, in other categories, when you don't have screw attack, those 3 red key hunters are infamous for ending runs due to the massive amount of damage they do. They're known as the 3 Musketeers. And here's the pattern of item plus missile in action. Those small damage boosts. But that's all for Norfair. Still a few items to get in Brinstar and Criteria, but other than that, we're ready to finish this. The next thing here is the last remaining major item in the game. With the help of Space Jump and Screw Attack, we don't have to worry about avoiding things. But there's that last item. Yeah, we leave this for this late because it mainly serves to get in the way. If I select through it while I'm running, I stop and use it and lose my speed. Also, with all the other major items, it's a lot easier to get through the room to it. And there was that door that was formerly yellow that I pre-opened with that power bomb on my second pass through that room. And through that passage, we end up in Blueprint Star again, where there are a few items that we still have to get. There's the last D-tank. And here is where the item plus missile pattern gets applied to a missile. This completes Sprint Star. Now I'm going to get a spark charge here and take it up the elevator because it does not run its timer while the elevator is moving. I'm going to use that to cross the old Mother Brain room. Now I have to deal with jumping across it. Okay, we got some missiles down here. If I properly time letting go of this shot, then it freezes those yellow things right in front of me for me to keep running across them. All that's left is one pack of missiles. And there we are. Seeing that number 230 confirms that we have all of them. So all that's left in the game now is Torian. after the entrance to it, we have one last moment of not really having to do anything. First we got 4 rooms of Metroids. Freezing them and hitting them with a super is enough for a kill. Oh, I mean, I have the delayed hit there. No, I didn't. I was trying to have the Rinkas move onto me while the room was fading out so I could damage boost across. So I'm gonna damage myself down and use up the reserves in case I don't get the skip. And the reason Screw Attack and Varia are off is related to Mother Brain's room and fight. No skip. But because I used up the reserves, I can recover without having to go to the refill room by doing a Crystal Flash. Now here we're reaching the reason why I turned Screw Attack off, and that's because by freezing this, getting iframes and spin jumping there, I tricked the game into thinking I'm standing on the frozen Rinka and it lets me through. But if Screw Attack were turned on, that would remove my iframes and I couldn't do that. And with this beam combo, Mother Brain only takes 20 shots. There's the explosion beam. It wouldn't really be bad if I got hit by it since I have so much extra health. But now that I have the shots in, I'm going to damage down to in the 700s. That's the reason I turned Vario off, so that I would take 600 from this, making it easier to get myself into the range where the where the Metroid comes on the screen to absorb the next rainbow beam. And by having control over Samus due to having 700 when the first one landed, and being in the air when this happens, I'm still in control. I have to make sure I'm in the air at a couple of specific spots here. But now I can start damaging Mother Brain Phase 3 during the cutscene. Some graphical issues happen, but other than that, everything works. And Mother Brain only takes a couple of Hyper Beam shots to finish off. And aiming down gets me past that overhanging corner. And the hit that I took there lets me... would have let me wall jump through that left wall Space Pirate if I had fully jumped through the door. Oh, a little bit too far to the left. And since this is a non-speedrun oriented gaming event, I will be paying a visit to our friends. That's Super Metroid 100%. Hopefully, we'll see at the end of the credits. Well, this has been the MAGLabs 2018 speedrunning test chamber. Thanks for watching, and we hope you enjoyed it.